So to finish, my favorite secular female content creator, a very beautiful Asian lady who talks about everything. She talks about, a lot of times, some of the things she talks about I skip. I don't like when she talks about sex, because to me sex is only fun for married people, and that means that it's private. What married couple goes out there and talks about sex like it's a sport, like it's fun? No. What a man and his wife do in the bedroom, whether it's, whatever it is personal between the two of them, no matter how fun it is. Okay? A man doesn't talk about the sex that he's having with his wife, with his friends. He knows better than that. And a woman doesn't talk about the sex that she's having with her husband, with her friends. She knows better than that. Okay? But my favorite female content creator on YouTube, she has a boyfriend and she doesn't want nobody to know what he looks like. Now, either she's lying about having a boyfriend, or he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want nobody to know who he is because of her content. Or she doesn't want nobody to know who he is because she's not serious about him. She's not ready. He's just a boyfriend. She's not sure if he'll be around forever. When you feel and you love somebody like you love them forever, you want them to be around forever. You don't mind showing the world about that person. You don't mind letting the world know this is your love. This is the man you love, or this is the woman you love. You don't care if you don't worry about what's going to happen later, because you love that person. That's love. And me, even as a Christian, if my wife is out there for the sake of the marriage part of our relationship, I want men, when she gets done walking around on the beach in her bikini to make her content, when she gets done, interviewing women that are talking about sex, which in a Christian marriage, I wouldn't tolerate that. We'd probably be divorced before we even got married if that's the kind of content she's going to perform. But, morally, she's not really doing anything wrong except doing what other women do on the beach. She's not doing anything morally wrong except talking about things that shouldn't be talked about, because they're not for the public, they're for the man and his wife. Okay? So, even as a Christian, I could see myself being married to someone that decided, after we were married, to do that. I would still want the public out there to know who I am, that I am her husband, because I don't want men thinking that they can just come after her and ask her out on dates. You know what I'm saying? You're getting on YouTube and other channels, and you are flashing your beauty. You're flashing. Now, she's very modest compared to a lot of white women. I know, all this is always, there's always This is always talking when it comes to white women. I mean, you know. And black women, even worse. But I must admit, Asian women, especially women of the Philippines, are not really big on exposing their cleavage, whether they got nice breasts or not. Now, she's got very small breasts, obviously, and she's always talking about it on the channel, which you shouldn't talk about that, because that, to a man, that is sex appeal. Because when a man lays down with a pretty lady, he is attracted to her breasts if they're big. He's attracted to her breasts if they're small. He's attracted to whatever caused him to lay down with this woman. And it's not always about big breasts, small breasts, tiny breasts. Even flat-chested women can be very, is a turn on for a lot of men. Okay? Now, the guitar player, I have her posted on the cover of the video that I just did. She was not one that I watched. She was one that I discovered from watching the others when I got done doing that video. So I put her cover, one of her many, many covers. And watching her perform a Gary Moore song in the outfit that she was wearing on stage, this woman is amazingly gorgeous from head to toe. However, I think that there was one picture shown her without the mask, and I admit she's not the prettiest Asian woman I've ever seen. She looks Asian. She's pretty enough. But I don't think that's why she's wearing a mask. She's wearing a mask because she's expressing something. So all this, one video, I had to, as soon as I got on there, I couldn't watch it long because she was basically wearing body paint. She was wearing body paint for her nipples, and she had nothing. She had body paint up here. Okay, so in other words, her breasts were completely exposed, and then she had on a bikini. She had on a strap, like it was a strap bikini. Okay, and she had on like leggings, like knit leggings at the knees, and I'm thinking, what is the image here? What is the image? She's using, the music is not the message. She's adding a message. She's adding a message to her music. She's doing music from everybody because she's an excellent guitar player. You know what the image is I see? I see a woman who has been scarred by some things. The woman behind that mask has been scarred by some things. And I'm going to tell you something about women who exploit themselves sexually. Women who exploit themselves sexually are not having a lot of sex. When they do have sex, okay, it's like cleaning out the closet. Okay, it's like getting an oil change, doing an oil change on your car. It is not about pleasure with the one you love. It's more about you need to check with your sexuality to make sure you still are a person. It's like you know, to prove you aren't a robot. Because you're only having sex once in a blue moon, and you're going to have sex with someone that is totally in the background. It's not going to say a word. You know, he's not going to, you know. And it's weird because men that are being used by women for in sex scandals and sex practices, they keep their mouth shut. But when women, I said men, right? I said men who are used by women for sexual practices or sexual scandals keep their mouth shut. But when men do it and they use women for sexual practices and scandals, these women get on the Oprah Winfrey show, or they get on the Wendy show, or Ellen DeGeneres or whatever, and they talk about the superstars they had sex with. And they were supposed to hush, hush. And they expose them. 50 Cent got exposed. He got exposed. And there's many, many others who've gotten exposed. 50 Cent. I'm trying to think of the others who have gotten exposed. But there's many who've gotten exposed for having scandals with women. And these women got on network television and told it all. Men have to understand. Let's talk about the men for a minute, being I talked enough about the women in the first video. Let's talk about the men. The Bible tells a man not to prostitute his daughter. But because of poverty in the Philippines, many Filipino men will still do this. Women are exploited by men. Going back to that verse in the Bible. Your desire will be to your husband, but he will rule over you. What that means is, I believe, is that men will be in charge no matter what. But women will always be in a predicament where they're either being exploited by a man, they're exploiting themselves to control men, or they will always use sexuality because men simply exist, so they're always going to dress this way and show this type of character because men exist. So even lesbian women, a lot of times, it's either you want to present yourself as a man in a lesbian relationship, or you still want to present yourself as, even lesbian women, but what do lesbian women still present themselves as sex symbols for what men like to see in a woman. But gay men also make themselves sex symbols for what men want to see in a woman. Gay men, if they're on a feminine side, they will go out there and wear leggings or spandex. hoping that attracts men. Trans women will dress exactly like women and copy the way they dress to attract men. Trans women understand that they're doing what they want to do. They're doing what they do because it attracts men. And if men that are taking a second look at these men or ending up in the bedroom with these men, you lied if you said that this did not attract you. And if you show any signs of homophobia, you lie when you say this doesn't attract you. You should not be complaining about this character. You should not even be reminding us. Look at him. He really think he looked like a woman, don't he? Well, you noticed. You was looking. You couldn't look. You couldn't notice him walking by and just shut up. Women do not understand that men are attracted to feminines, not pussy. This is why a lot of men who their time is being wasted by natural women will trade a vagina for a rectum with a trans woman. Why? Because men are attracted to feminines. They're not attracted to pussy. And when they put their head down there, it doesn't taste like ice cream. And it doesn't taste like cod either. Fresh cod. No, it does not. No man gets up in the morning and says, oh, I'm hungry. I need to put my head back between my wife's legs. Yeah, that might be something sexy you do to be a turn on, and it might turn you on sexually, remembering what she smells like down there and all like that. But no man puts his head down there without also knowing that eventually within the same hour that he's going to also penetrate that same spot. I'm just trying to get you to see the facts here. Okay? Men are attracted to feminines. They're attracted to breasts, legs, butt cheeks, okay, hair, beautiful hair. And black women, you trying to walk around with the hair of a white woman or the hair of an Indian woman or Asian woman does not help you as a black woman. Because even more so because of that, black men will be more attracted to women who actually have that kind of hair than knowing that yours can just be pulled right off by accident like a hat. Black men are attracted. White men are attracted. And many men are attracted to a black woman who knows how to do the right thing with her natural wool hair. I was at church years ago as a youngster, and there was a African choir group. They were a musical singing group. There must have been about 5 or 6 people in the group altogether, and this was way back in the 80s. And they came to my church at Homewood and Idlewild Street in Homewood, Pittsburgh section. And one of these African women was She was a little bit chubby, but she was a perfect form. Okay? And she was, she had, I'm not going to go into detail, but she was nice. She was a little on the chubby side, but she was beautiful to behold. She was well shaped, very feminine. Okay. She had, her hair was half wool and half plaited, and she had the majority of it coming like this, going all the way down her back, and in between the plaits there was wool in between the plaits going all the way down her back. Okay, and then her hair was cut short on the sides, and it was wool, but it was cut kind of short so that it didn't, and most of her hair was plait, but half of it was plaited and half of it was stayed wool. Okay, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and it went all the way down her back. This woman had never cut her hair. This woman had never cut her hair. She cut it on the sides, but the back, she let the back continue to grow. And I'm just saying that as a guideline for black women. There's ways to do your hair and still be black, and still celebrate blackness and black beauty without trying to make your hair, without trying to make yourself look like you Asian or trying to make you look like you white. Just stop it. Just accept that God, black people are the only people in the world that have wool hair. Let us celebrate the wool, okay? And I don't mean celebrate the wool where you got this big afro. Yeah, that might be good if you're in the 70s, but no. Today we shape that afro, we cut that afro in different ways so that it's something more beautiful. The afro days are over. Just like white women wearing the bungees and the bun rolls that go way up in the air and all that stuff. That's over. White women don't wear their hair like that no more. You shouldn't be wearing these Jimi Hendrix afros anymore. Your hair doesn't go this way; it goes this way. In 2025. It doesn't go up in the air, it goes down your back. And this woman was doing this back in the 80s when a lot of black women are still wearing the Hendrix afro. This woman had her hair going all the way down her back, and I'm watching her and I'm thinking, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. But getting back to this, men need to understand the Bible says not for a man not to give his strength to women. How does a man give his strength to women? Because he sees her beauty, her feminines, and he wants to lay down with that. And so he's willing to do whatever necessary to have that, to possess that for himself. But the Bible says, do not, O Lemuel, give your strength to women. The man, in a marriage, a man is going to have less sex with his wife than two gay men are having sex. How do I know that? Because gay men know how men feel sexually. And they feel the same way. It's the same thing with two lesbians. Okay? They're going to have more sex at one point. They're going to have less sex at another point because they're not with men. Okay? But when they do have sex, they're always in 100% agreement. They never have to give themselves to each other because they're both women. They always want to do it whenever they do it. And two gay men, or a man and a trans woman are both men. They know how to They know what to do because they're both men. They know how each other thinks about sex and how each other wants sex. And they know that they're always ready to have sex. So two gay men living in a house together, if they ain't got jobs, they're just going to be screwing all day. Whereas women have stipulations about sex with men. And let me tell you something, men. That stipulation is beautiful. Because not only does it keep you human and keep you from becoming sexually addicted and performing sexual idolatry and making sex your God and putting that before your marriage, but it shows the difference between men and women as well. And it shows the beauty of marriage. And what a man should do is that instead of him always looking for that sexual place, as I said in the last video, he should be taking care of his wife. And if his wife has nothing to do but worry about him, because he's taking care of all the financial and security issues. Part of that taking care of her husband, and that's all she needs to do. Part of that will be sex, and she will be wet for it. Not because he's mandingo, not because he's black and he's or white and he's well hung, not because he's that good in bed he can last 8 hours in bed, not because of anything of sexual prowess, but because he is an alpha male that's taking care of everything. All she needs to do is be a woman. And a woman that is married does not have to worry about anything but her husband. But the respect that goes with that is the way she carries herself in front of other men, the way she carries herself in public. Wasn't it Priscilla Rashad from the Bill Cosby show that recently went viral on YouTube because she said men don't want to be with women that are dressed half naked all the time? And it's true. Men want to sleep with women that are butt naked. Men want to sleep with, men go to the club to see cleavage. Men go to the beach. And you know what? If you're a woman and you meet a single man on the beach, you're an idiot. Because you just got what you don't want. And if you are a man on the beach and you don't get into the water, you're a predator. And if you're a woman who goes to the beach and you don't get a tan and you don't get in the water, you're a hoe. The beach is not for you to just get out there and, there's a YouTube photo. It's a video. I didn't click on it. But it keeps coming to my channel. And it's about this woman laying on the beach. And the title of the video has nothing to do with the woman laying on the beach with her legs cocked open. She's laying on the beach and she's laying on her back. And she's laying missionary style. And she got one leg open. Showing, and I'm thinking, why do they do this? Why do they do this? There's a YouTube channel out there that will take pictures of the old Cosby Show and the actors in the Cosby Show. They use AI to make photos of the women of the Cosby Show, post them on there on the front of the cover title page to the video to get you to watch the video. And a lot of people watch the video and they get mad because they thought one of the actors of the Cosby Show actually retired from the Cosby Show to become a prostitute or to become a stripper or something like that. But that's what, okay, again, ladies, you're either being exploited by men or you are doing everything because men exist, but yet you have no husband, and the one that you're sleeping with, you don't want him to be the father of your children. Let me say that again. Women, you are either letting men exploit you while you pretend to be okay with it, or you get up every day dressing the way you do and going out in public the way you do, having a sexual appeal type of character, simply because you know that men exist and they're watching. They're everywhere. But yet the man that you are sleeping with, the man that's getting the coochie, when all the other men are foaming at the mouth for it, good and bad, the one that's getting the coochie is a beta male, okay, that talks more than you, gossips more than you, yells and screams and loves to argue and show drama more than you do. You're not going to be together that long. And you don't want him, obviously, being the father of your children. Being a stepfather to your children or having any children with you. Another reason why some women are getting abortions. But men, you need to quit giving your strength to women. Because a man that walks past a woman and ain't even thinking about her is a man that is a man that a woman pays more attention to, especially when she's dressed like that. Especially when she's dressed like that. A man that didn't see it. He's good at acting like he didn't see her or just walk right past him. A man that didn't look to the left because she went to the left, or look to the right because she went to the right, or turn around and had to look at that rear end because it went past him. A man that does not care about a woman until that woman is in his bedroom is a strong man. And a man that women will respect. If I ever had women that I assume are out of my league, give me the time of day or give me attention, it is because I don't care. Because I know that you're not dressed like that for a 58-year-old 5'3". You're dressed like that, and you're looking like that, and you know you're beautiful, and you make sure you wear the same thing all the time because that's what makes you. And other guys are coming to me and talking to me about, oh man, that smoking body. And I know that that's not for me. But what you're doing is you're going to go through every man so that you are available to the highest bidder. And even if you got a man and hung, how do we know? How does he know that he's the only one for you? Being you feel that you need to dress like that every day to look good to everybody every day. And then let that woman watch all the men go around and talk to this girl and talk to that girl because they're single and they don't talk to you, they don't talk to her, she is going to feel a certain way and start trying to act out a certain way or say certain things to get these men to talk to her. Because even though she is with someone, her clothing, the way she carries herself, says that she's single. Now, where I come from, the way you carry yourself is your security and your protection. So whether you're married or single, you don't go out in public expressing sex appeal when you don't have a man with you. Especially if you don't have a man with you. But even if you do have a man with you in the Christian community, we understand that your husband or your fiance is not sharing your fruit, even to stare at it and lick his chops for it. He's not sharing that with anybody. That's his. And men, you got to do two things. First of all, stop giving your strength to women. Stop lusting after women. Stop drooling over women, regardless. And then start to take care of whatever woman. I don't care if she's the darkest, blackest, nappy-headed woman you ever met. You chose to be with her. You're going to take care of her. She is your queen. Or I don't care if you're with the Filipina P. Okay, I don't care if you're with Holly Berry. I don't care if you are with, Miss Asia 2025. Or you're from one of the darkest, nappiest, headed women of South Africa. She is your queen. You will treat her like the queen. And you will always show the same desire for her every day. Because she is the one that you picked. And you will take care of her. She doesn't have to pay for nothing. She doesn't have to do anything. If she got money, whether it's your money or her money, if she got money on a credit card, if she got money in the bank, if she got a business so she got money, okay, she can help you when times are slow and when you're in a rut. But she is not to pay your bills, or better yet, y'all bills. You pay the bills. You pay for everything, or don't get married. Okay? That is what makes a beautiful, lovely Filipina hook up with an older American man, because he is going to be her King Solomon. He is going to be her status. And women in the Philippines, these women over here in America, think they're so third world and so ghetto. But you don't understand. A guy that goes to the Philippines and if he's not an alpha male, he's going to have a hard time getting a date. He go to the Philippines and don't think the woman is worthy of everything he's got. He's not going to get much. He's going to have a hard time getting dates. But if you go to the Philippines and you give your strength to women like you've been doing over here in the United States, just like here in the United States they did it to you, they're going to do it to you in the Philippines. They're going to scam you. Okay? And leave you bankrupt. Because you didn't know how to carry yourself. You didn't know how to say no. And then when she said what she wants and you knew that was asking too much. You gave her all your strength anyway, that you knew you couldn't afford. Your mouth wrote out a check that you can't cash. Why? Because you wasn't letting nothing get in the way of you taking her back to your hotel room. Don't give your strength to women. Once you get married to a woman that is submissive to you and honors and respects you 100%, that will be better than having sex with a dozen women, 10,000 times in 1 year. Focus on the woman that you want for your future, that you want to settle down with, and that will be submissive to you and accept that you are the head of your home. Regardless, you are the head. It don't matter if she got a career. It doesn't matter if she makes more money than you. You are the head of your home. And that's the reason why I don't think about women right now, because, you know what I'm saying? If I meet a woman and we're talking on the phone, I got to figure out how I'm going to get the money to date her. So I don't think about women. When I got the money to date as often as I want to, when I'm making the proper figures, I'm going to be dating every day like going shopping. It's going to be worth blowing the money, especially if my goal is to find a good wife to exceed me when I die, to share my legacy with my children when I'm gone. That is worth a queen. And every woman that I date that doesn't work out is just stepping stones to get to her. That's it. But don't give your strength to women. It is not for us to give our strength to women. It is for us to marry submissive women. It is not for us to give our strength to women. It is for us to take care of our women. 100%. There is no 50-50. It's 150. Well, oh, thank you, dear. That was mighty sweet of you. I'll put this in the bank for a rainy day. She owes me nothing but love. My wife owes me nothing but love. I owe her everything. But that 50, she owes me nothing but love. And when you walk out on the street with that kind of attitude, that is the kind of man that is worth being chased by 100 women. When women know that that's who you are. But when women see you in the bar, they're judging you because they know you shouldn't be in there. When women see you in the club, when they see you at the strip club, they're judging you. The strippers are judging you, and the women that are there on dates. Everybody is judging you. Even the trans women in that joint are judging you because they know you got the wrong idea, brother. You can't come in here and look for a decent relationship. You're only here to bust a nut. You are not there to look for a wife because that's not the proper place to look for a wife. I'm out of here. Men, grow up. don't even know what I'm going to call this video. But grow up, please. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Like, share, and subscribe.